Have you ever sat in a strategy meeting surrounded by charts and confident voices and quietly thought, we're guessing? I think most leaders have. We don't call it guessing, of course. We call it testing or pivoting or staying agile. But when the truth is uncomfortable, we disguise it with language. The truth is, many organizations run on assumptions that no one has paused to test. Here's why that happens. Leaders are trained to decide quickly. The higher you go, the thinner the oxygen, the faster the choices. But speed without clarity isn't leadership, it's roulette. And roulette doesn't build sustainable growth. When I say guessing, I'm not talking about intuition. Intuition is earned pattern recognition. It's useful. Guessing is when we make decisions inside a fog of half facts and wishful thinking. When we act without alignment, hoping that motion equals progress. Let me tell you about a conversation I had years ago with the CEO. She said, we keep missing our quarterly targets, but everyone swears they're doing their job. Classic signal of a company lost in the fog. When we applied the Curao Compass, the picture changed. Their north structure was fine. Their teams were skilled, the reporting lines were clear. But east, the strategy and execution point, was chaos. Marketing was measuring leads. Sales was measuring revenue. Finance was measuring margin. And none of those metrics talked to each other. They weren't failing because they lacked effort. They were failing because they lacked a shared direction. That's what guessing looks like at scale. So why do smart leaders keep falling into it? Because confusion feels like complexity, and complexity feels sophisticated. Executives mistake busy dashboards for deep insight. We drown in data and call it strategy. But data is only raw material. Clarity is the craft. The compass exists to help you move from assumption to alignment. It starts by asking brutally simple questions. Where is your structure weak? Where does strategy break between teams? Where do operations slow you down? Where does finance contradict the story marketing tells? Where is the customer, the center, actually being heard? 5 directions, 5 lenses to check before you move. Let's talk about what happens when you stop guessing. When you bring your executive team around one version of truth, something changes. Meetings get shorter. Discussions move from blame to curiosity. And decisions finally have context. That's the difference between a map and a compass. A map tells you what someone else discovered. A compass tells you where you are right now. Most companies follow maps, copying competitor playbooks, chasing trends, mimicking what works elsewhere. But clarity, real operational clarity, comes from knowing your own coordinates first. So here's a reflection for you this week. Grab your journal or the note app you actually use and write this down. Where are we making decisions based on assumptions instead of evidence? Which department is guessing the loudest right now? And what single question could cut through that noise? You don't have to answer perfectly. You just have to start asking. If this episode feels uncomfortably familiar, good. It means you're awake to the fog. And once you see the fog, you can start to clear it. That's what we'll do, step by step, in this series. Each episode, another direction on the compass. Next time, we'll talk about turning clarity into workflow, how to make insight operational so it survives the chaos of daily business. Until then, lead with clarity, not certainty, because certainty is brittle, clarity is alive.